if there is a God side and the other side, if there are moral things and things that are immoral, if there is this side or that side, it can't be left up to thought process. I'm an enforcer on this side.
The Obama family is reportedly going after comedian Katt Williams, with insiders claiming they're planning to ban him or even sue him outright. That's right, Katt Williams, the incendiary comic who's taken swings at everyone from big pharma to Hollywood moguls, is now allegedly in the crosshairs of America's former first family. And if that sounds like a joke, trust us, it's not the funny kind. For years, Katt has been known as the guy who doesn't flinch, who doesn't filter, and who most definitely doesn't bow down to power. Now, with whispers swirling about sealed documents and shadow agendas, we're left asking, why would the Obamas, paragons of post-presidential grace and media training, be rattled by a man with a mic and a vendetta?
I'm supposed to come in and restore order because that's my position. The fact that it's ignored by the clowns because they're all in the same frat, comedically, like, that's all well and good. I don't care nothing about none of that. But
it started like many of Katt's controversies do, with a sharp tongue and a sharper sense of timing. But this time, his targets weren't rappers or club owners. He started poking at the platinum-plated armor of Barack and Michelle themselves. On stage and on podcasts, he hinted at their connection to what he calls the Hollywood machine, that opaque world of exclusive parties, secret alliances, and, if you believe the more fringe voices online, powerful people with a lot to lose. And what's Katt's role in all this? According to him, he turned down some of those invites, the kind of invites that come with NDAs, handlers, and, you guessed it, a whole lot of silence money. You gotta tell Diddy no, Katt said in an interview earlier this year, and I did. I got the receipts. It didn't take long before his attention shifted from Diddy's baby oil-laced escapades to a broader circle of so-called deviants. And sitting near the top of that power pyramid, the Obamas.
See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say them so freely.
Kid, I need another one. You here, get your number.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
He never named names in the beginning, not directly, but he left breadcrumbs, subtle nods to first couples, and clean images hiding dirty truths. Then came the veiled references to legacy laundering, a phrase Katt used to describe how some high-powered families go to great lengths to preserve their pristine public personas, even if it means scrubbing inconvenient truths. That's when the speculation started bubbling into full-blown rumor. Could Katt have stumbled on something that the Obamas want buried for good? The rumor mill didn't need much to kick into high gear. The whispers started multiplying, claiming Barack and Michelle were preparing legal action against Katt, an outright lawsuit to shut him down. Not for defamation, not for slander, but something more cryptic. Malicious interference with political partnerships, one source claimed, suggesting the Obamas were less worried about reputational damage and more concerned about what else Katt might reveal if pushed. What would drive one of the most image-conscious political duos of the century to such lengths? What's hiding in the fine print of their post-White House empire?
Authenticity, I felt like more, and I could be wrong, I don't know your guys' relationship. It felt like you guys had like a relationship before, and then something bitter in between it. What's the real story between you guys?
Katt's followers weren't the only ones asking questions. His recent dig seemed to overlap with a conspiracy theory that just refuses to fade, the one involving Joan Rivers, the late queen of red carpet roasts and unscripted shade. Back in 2014, just weeks before her unexpected medical tragedy, Joan made two jaw-dropping statements to a street reporter. When asked about the possibility of America having a homosexual or female president, she fired back, "We already have it, it's Obama." And just to be sure her mic drop landed, she added, "You know Michelle is a transgender." We all know. It wasn't a punchline. It was delivered flat, straight, and with the confidence of someone who believed she was stating a public secret. Fast forward a few weeks, and Joan's throat surgery turned fatal. The medical fallout was strange enough to trigger a federal investigation, an unauthorized procedure, an unqualified staffer in the room, vitals ignored, missing consent forms. The list of red flags was long and for some suspiciously convenient. In the years since, conspiracy theorists haven't just kept the story alive, they've made it their cornerstone claim that Joan Rivers knew too much and got silenced. And now some of those same voices are suggesting that Michelle Obama has been working behind the scenes to erase Joan's legacy piece by piece. Not her comedy, not her books, but those final viral comments. One insider alleges that Michelle, through intermediaries, has pushed for content platforms to demonetize any video that repeats Joan's claims, a digital scorched earth policy aiming to erase the spark before it reignites. If true, it wouldn't be the first time the Obamas have tried to steer the narrative. We've seen the carefully managed appearances, the curated Netflix deals, the Michelle memoirs with just enough disclosure to keep the press fed without giving away too much. But Katt Williams isn't playing that game. He's not sponsored by streaming platforms or tied to any PR machine. He's the wild card. And maybe that's exactly why they're afraid of him.
And if the truth is involved, then I'm not even allowed to be worried. What would I be worried about? It's those that traffic in falsehoods that gotta worry about me, because I'll say something.
Because here's the twist no one expected. While Katt's out there cracking jokes and Joan's old footage resurfaces on back channels, more and more people are connecting dots that were never supposed to be on the same page. Michelle's rumored involvement in scrubbing Joan's comments, the strange uptick in rumors about her and Barack's separate lives, and now, with Katt hinting that he's sitting on even more stories involving Hollywood's elite and possibly the Obamas themselves, the pressure's mounting. Is this really about a comedian making crude jokes? Or is it about a much larger game of control and exposure? It's starting to look like every controversy circles back to the same set of power players. Katt, for all his eccentricities, might have gotten just a little too close to something bigger than celebrity gossip. And the lawsuit? That may not be about justice. That might just be a warning shot designed to remind him and the rest of us that there are still untouchables in America. But if they really are trying to shut him up, it raises one very uncomfortable question. What exactly is it they're so desperate to keep quiet?
Okay.
They could be a goofball. See, there's room in comedy for goofballs.
Right.
Like, we don't need everybody talking about the same stuff I be talking about.
That's what I'm saying, but I mean for you specifically.
Oh, for me specifically.
For you specifically, people
Yeah.
follow you in that sort of vein where, yes, you're entertaining, yes, you're comedic, but also, as I mentioned earlier, you live by a specific code that is infallible to even get into your eco space.
And while the questions surrounding Katt Williams and the Obamas grow more intense, an even darker story seems to be resurfacing. One that's left many uneasy for nearly a decade. Joan Rivers, the legendary comedian known for her fearless tongue, made headlines in 2014 when she boldly claimed that Barack Obama was homosexual and Michelle Obama was transgender. These statements, shocking even by Rivers' standards, came just weeks before her sudden and tragic passing during what was described as a routine medical procedure. But was it really just a coincidence? Or was Joan Rivers silenced for knowing too much?
At all, but if it is true, it truly would be a political earthquake in Democrat circles. Never mind America. I don't remember a presidential divorce in modern history.
The timeline of her final days has fueled endless conspiracy theories. Rivers' infamous remarks were made during one of her last public interviews, and the backlash was immediate. Critics condemned her statements, but whispers began circulating online. Some claimed that Rivers had been warned to retract her comments, while others pointed to her sudden decline as too convenient. When reports emerged that errors had been made during her medical procedure, including incorrect dosages and unauthorized decisions, the speculation only deepened. How could such a high-profile figure, beloved and controversial in equal measure, meet such an avoidable end? And why do these questions still linger, despite official investigations clearing the clinic of foul play? Adding fuel to the fire, conspiracy theorists have drawn eerie parallels between Rivers' claims and recent controversies surrounding the Obamas. Could her sharp tongue have struck a nerve, unveiling secrets that were meant to stay buried? Some allege that her comments about Michelle Obama's identity hit closer to home than anyone was willing to admit. And with Katt Williams now also under fire for his own accusations, one can't help but wonder, is there a pattern emerging? Do those who speak out against the Obamas face consequences far beyond public criticism?
In the school she currently attends, and our attitude is that if you have a teenager and you really want to make sure that they never talk to you again, then pull them out of high school right in the middle.
Yeah, you're right.
Of sophomore year. So look, they've made so many sacrifices.
They have, and they didn't get to decide that.
Exactly. So I want to make sure that.
But the intrigue doesn't stop there. Let's talk about the so-called Hollywood-Obama pipeline, a web of connections that some believe holds the key to understanding why the Obamas have become so intertwined with the entertainment industry. Barack Obama's post-presidency career has seen him dive headfirst into Hollywood, signing massive production deals and building relationships with some of the most powerful names in showbiz. On the surface, it seems like a natural evolution for a former president with a knack for storytelling. But Katt Williams has suggested otherwise, claiming that these connections run far deeper than anyone realizes. According to Williams, the Obamas have used their influence to cultivate a network of allies in the entertainment world, ensuring that their image remains untouchable while critics are discredited or silent. What makes these claims even more startling is the sheer scale of the alleged operation. Could it be that Hollywood's biggest players are complicit in shielding the Obamas from controversy? Williams has hinted at secret meetings and backroom deals that would make even the most seasoned political operatives blush. And while these allegations remain unproven, they raise a chilling question. What is it about Katt Williams' comedy that has the Obamas so on edge? Could it be that his jokes, exaggerated as they may seem, are rooted in truths that certain people don't want exposed?
I mean, there's, not to add insult to injury, but there's a Daily Mail report out today saying Kamala Harris's marriage may be on the rocks. Like everybody's on the rocks. Again, I will say I love the Daily Mail, but the sourcing appeared weak. It was like people who know the couple, but like, I don't know if it's any better than that. But they're saying she's blaming him in part for her loss because he turned out to be such a hot mess liability. You buy it?
The Obama divorce rumors have added yet another volatile ingredient to this already explosive cocktail of speculation. For over a decade, Barack and Michelle Obama have embodied the image of a stable, inspiring partnership. Two Ivy League-educated intellectuals rising from the South Side of Chicago to the pinnacle of global power, seemingly untouched by the scandals and fractures that plague so many public marriages. But now, the whispers have turned into something louder. From podcast hosts to political insiders, claims have surfaced that the couple is quietly living separate lives, retreating into different coasts and clashing agendas. Michelle's recent absences from high-profile events, including Trump's inauguration and the funeral of President Jimmy Carter, have only fueled suspicions that their polished public unity might be exactly that. Performance.
Look at that and go,
no, it is not.
No?
Yeah, no, it's not. I mean, you know, the thing about what I learned in those 8 years is that home is where we make it, and we were in the White House for 8 years, but it wasn't the house, it was us in it. It was our values and our love for each other, and we just moved that to another house. So
people have begun to read between the Instagram posts, parsing every photo caption and awkward grip of the hand like they're decoding diplomatic cables. A birthday tribute becomes a cipher for emotional distance. A missing wedding ring becomes a referendum on authenticity, while the official narrative still presents a united front. Shared homes, joint ventures, and glowing tributes, anonymous insiders paint a more fragmented reality. Michelle, they say, has long grown weary of the political games and the Hollywood-style management of the Obama brand. Her pivot toward solo ventures, children's nutrition campaigns, and production work has pulled her into a different orbit, one where Barack is no longer the sun. The deeper question hiding beneath all the gossip is why these rumors matter so much. What does it say about American culture that we need the Obamas to stay together? Perhaps it's because their story has been held up as proof that dignity and grace can survive the carnage of modern politics. If even they are unraveling behind the curtain, it suggests that no public narrative, no matter how tightly scripted, is immune to the rot of reality. The possibility that their bond is fraying feels like a betrayal of something larger than just two people. It threatens a collective need to believe that some partnerships are too noble to fall apart.
She is not sorry.
They are looking forward. All the women in your life are looking forward.
All the women in my life are looking forward to being able to, you know, live a more normal life.
Yeah, but still not entirely normal. Obviously, everybody's under the microscope at all times.
A little bit more.
And you're staying in Washington, D.C., which is unusual for an exiting president.
And yet, the psychological weight of maintaining that illusion must be staggering. Constant surveillance, curated appearances, and the impossible expectations placed on Black excellence all conspire to build a glass fortress around the couple. Inside that fortress, cracks may have been forming for years. Every laugh, every embrace, every date night photo becomes a performance with stakes far beyond their marriage. And when the act is mandatory, where does the authentic self go? Rumors of marital discord are not just sensational, they are deeply human. If Michelle has pulled away or Barack has emotionally checked out, it might not be scandalous, it might be inevitable. The online obsession with their dynamic has only intensified as other pieces of the puzzle fall into place. The bizarre and short-lived rumor linking Barack to Jennifer Aniston was quickly denied, but not before it set fire to social media feeds. People latched on not because it was believable, but because it punctured the illusion and introduced the possibility that Barack and Michelle aren't just drifting apart, they might already be on parallel tracks, smiling for the cameras while moving in opposite directions behind the scenes. The speculation gained such traction that even established media outlets felt compelled to weigh in, some trying to debunk the rumors, others stoking them further with cryptic headlines and unnamed sources.
So the truth about Jen and Barack is that there is no truth.
There is
it
no
is
truth.
Untrue. You know Barack Obama.
I've met him once.
Met him once.
I know Michelle more than him.
What is there a truth about you and Michelle that we should know?
That is not true.
We've seen this pattern before with other iconic power couples. The public romanticizes them, invests in their mythology, and then reacts with disbelief when reality threatens to intrude. But with the Obamas, the stakes feel higher. They weren't just a love story. They were a symbol of hope, of progress, of what America could be at its best. The The idea that even they might be faking it just like everyone else leaves a sour taste. It shifts the ground beneath their legacy and opens the door to more scrutiny, more doubt, and, ironically, more interest. The more they stay silent on the rumors, the more people feel justified in filling in the blanks. And while neither Barack nor Michelle has directly addressed the divorce rumors, their silence is its own kind of noise. In an era where most public figures rush to social media to shut things down, their refusal to comment is viewed by some as strategic restraint, and by others as quiet confirmation. Some have argued that their post-presidential brand is too valuable to risk unraveling now, that if a separation has indeed occurred, it will be handled with precision, wrapped in legal non-disclosure agreements, and managed like a corporate merger. No drama, no headlines, just a clean, quiet fade.
And so, as a facilitator, as a vessel, my job is easy. Like I can stay committed because I'm only representing authenticity, and I am showing that as well. So
if that day comes, and it's still a big if, it won't just be a story about two people going their separate ways. It will be about what happens when a nation projects its ideals onto a couple who never asked to be symbols. And it will force us to ask, were we ever rooting for Barack and Michelle, the people, or just the characters they were forced to become? As the pieces of this puzzle come together, one thing is clear: the stakes are higher than ever. If these rumors hold any weight, they could redefine how we see not only the Obamas, but also the power structures that connect politics and entertainment. The idea that a former president and first lady could wield such influence, even out of office, is both fascinating and deeply unsettling. And with Katt Williams refusing to back down despite the alleged threats and potential lawsuits, it seems this story is far from over.
Point where a fan base requires you to make certain moves or decisions based upon what it is you represent. We always recognize the people that do that the best, and that translates.
So where does this leave us? Are we witnessing the unraveling of carefully guarded secrets? Or is this just another chapter in the long history of celebrity gossip and political scandal? One thing's for sure, the more questions we ask, the fewer answers we seem to find. What else might be lurking in the shadows, waiting to be uncovered? And who will dare to shine a light on it next? Let us know what you think in the comments. We're dying to hear your take on this explosive saga. Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and remember, the truth is often stranger than fiction.